So in time, the distinction between the world, the activities of thinking, perceiving, and the peace, the distinction, no longer exists. Because, in fact, there are no distinctions. The thought which may arise, which distinguishes between this or that, does not mean that there is an actual distinction. Whatever appears to you, whichever way it appears, is perfect as it is when you are not making any preferences. When you are not imposing some conditions upon the universe. Imaginary conditions, of course. But somehow, we prefer to make distinctions, conditions upon our happiness. Not only is any condition upon your happiness unhappy, but it's also futile. Is it possible to be as you are? Without conditions, without the past, without belief systems, without images about yourself and images about the other. It's a good question to explore. Can you drop your identity? Your identification with a race, a nationality, a gender, any form of identification. Is it necessary to define yourself in any way in this moment of presence, this effortless presence that has no one controlling it or managing it? Do we need to define ourselves and define the other to segment the mind and the world and the body? Is it necessary to separate ourselves? This imaginary separation, a me in time and space, a son, a daughter, a story that's unfolding. What is this story? What is it? In this moment of presence, of wholeness, of fullness, and what is this story? What does it relate to? Am I going to remain within the bubble of what? Bubble of images and beliefs and stories? And am I something, somebody inside some sort of bubble? Is this what this aware presence, this awareness, is it inside of a bubble? Is our freedom dependent on the world, dependent on our parents, on our jobs, on our relationships? Is freedom conditional? What sort of freedom would that be? If freedom dependent on my neighbor, my mom, my dad, my government, my body, my car, my bank account. What sort of freedom is that? How long am I going to play the game of being a limited self? What's in the way right now, the way of the peace of being? Some ideas we have about it? Ideas like brain waves, images. Is this what's in the way of freedom, love, and peace? Or is it some feeling? Is there like a feeling that's in the way? Is can a feeling be in the way of God? Can a feeling obscure your reality. Why do we give so much importance to feelings? Why? They're like the sound of a passing train, aren't they? Notice how all events, all sensations, they're just passing. They're not there. You go to them, you don't find them. Try to go right now to these words that just been uttered right now. Go, try, find them. Can you find them? Or the thought that you just perceived a second ago. Where is it? Is there a reality to your experience outside of awareness? Take a look. Take a look. Can you step outside of awareness? Can you go somewhere else? Can you somehow put awareness on hold and go to a thought or a feeling or a sensation? Is that possible? Can you step out of yourself to go into the past or into the future? To fix the past? Can you step out of yourself and go fix the past? Or step into the future to build a rosy future? Or is it just thoughts and images, mind impressions, which amount to what? Are you what you imagine yourself to be? Are you what you perceive? Something you perceive, a feeling, an image. Can an image or a bundle of images or feelings, can they truly define you? Take a look. And yet, you are undeniable. Awareness, presence is undeniable. What makes awareness undeniable? Isn't it your direct experience? I awareness. I am aware. I am this transparent awareness can't be captured by any image, any story, any narrative. Like the cloud cannot define the infinite sky. Or a thousand clouds cannot define the infinite sky. Isn't that so? And yet, you know yourself. Absolutely, I am. I am. That is absolute. I am is its own meaning. It does not require any explanation. The absolute certainty of I, the reality that perceives. It has no name, no age, no gender. It's not a mother, a father, a son, a daughter. The body appears to you, doesn't it? Could be a male body, a female body, a tall body, a short body, whatever. Black body, a yellow body, pink body. It's an appearance which does not define awareness. Right? Only awareness defines itself. And you are that. Peace, love, and happiness are at the source of your being, this very moment. They're not downstream. They're not the result of a cause. They're not an effect. Yet, the belief that I am a man, a woman, a person veils your reality. What power does the belief that you are somebody has without your acquiescence. Beware of thought saying that you are powerless, that you are a victim, that you are a subject to circumstances, subject to the mind. Beware, be watchful. It's a trickery. Because awareness is the ultimate reality. Your reality. The one reality. Do not give it away. Okay, so if there are any questions.
Hi, Magdi, it's Marga.
Hello, Marga.
Hi, how are you?
Let's see.
Hi, up here.
I cannot hear you.
You can't,
Marga.
oh.
Let me see.
I can hear Margot.
I can hear you now, yes?
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, yes. Were you able to hear me? Yes. Okay. Yes, Marga, I can hear you. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I just wanted to share something that shifted that was exciting for me. That a few years ago, I had a friend that told me some untruths, and it was upsetting. And I had a very similar situation this past week where the brain would kind of keep track of strangeness, but not really put it together. And then all of a sudden, the untruth, and it happened both times where it would, all of a sudden, I'd realize the person is not telling the truth. And the first time, there was big emotion and sadness. And then this time, I had the realization that they were not telling the truth. And I had a bodily sensation of shock, and I just observed it. And it was a bit strong in a sensational sense, just but I just watched it, and then that left, and then um, what came was compassion and love, and it's okay. And I was able to, and the amazing thing was I was, I just kind of thought, well, I'm going to say to them, I know, but I have compassion for that. And, I can see that they're lying to themselves, and I feel that I have space for that. There's no problem. So before I got the chance to say it, they called and said that they had done that. And and it was just okay. And I have the space for them to explore why and think about it and learn from it. And there's no judgment here, but it's not wishy-washy either, which was amazing to me. It's not like I don't have boundaries. I have boundaries, but I, I love how the journey or whatever this life is repeats things sometimes, so we can observe the difference between that space and when I attached to whatever the story was about, like even the idea of lying doesn't really exist, it's a construct. Um, so so I just wanted to share that there was a difference from having observed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. That's really beautiful, Marga. Being not as a subject, being not as an object, just being. There is nothing to defend, nothing to protect at the psychological level. Of course, we take care of the body-mind. We have boundaries of the body-mind. We can only do so much. We can only relate in such a way. There are limitations. But from the psychological perspective, we're not trying to defend or project or maintain a psychological self. So we're just this presence right now. It's really lovely when the psychological self becomes transparent. And actually, oftentimes when we're unburdened with psychological me, with the storyline, there is more clarity. We're more capable of distinguishing. We don't get trapped up into storylines. It's sort of like a capacity to see through in a way. And yes, not being personally affected is sort of, you say, well, yes to that, no to that. Yes to this, no to that. And it's interesting how, often, we say how our own process of inquiry and coming into the light can somehow, it goes beyond us. It also affects others. It's interesting that you are sharing that this person somehow called and felt to share with you that, that's interesting. But sometimes via our own contemplation, the way we live, the way we relate, there are seeds being planted. Which may sprout a day later or a decade later or lifetimes later, who knows? Doesn't matter.
It's very validating of the no separation, and both times the sensation came in like a full package of knowing. Like there wasn't, when your kids are lying to you, you have all these clues and sometimes you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But this came in like a package, like, oh, truth, no question.
Mm-hmm.
And then the call back, it's like a validation of
Mm-hmm.
we all know everything.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
we need to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's the being the presence to whatever arises. It is a freedom, a freedom. The freedom of presence and the freedom for the arising to arise. Like the wind blows over the valley. The freedom of the wind to blow whichever way the universe is choreographing it, and the freedom of the space, the freedom of presence. And it's via our affirmation of the freedom of consciousness, the non-judgmental aspect of awareness. It's via this affirmation that it sort of affirms itself. It becomes clearer and clearer that yes, that is the true freedom. That is the true peace. That is the true nature of this reality, which appears as this conversation, appears as a sensation within the body, appears as somebody lying to us, appears as the song of the birds, without being disturbed. It's not disturbed. It's not disturbed. So to sort of notice the disturbance, the undisturbability, or to notice the peace. Notice the peace. And of course we all have a deep appreciation and love for peace, and causeless peace, you see. And when peace is our true nature, then there is no opposite. There is no partial peace or the absence of peace at some time. No, peace is. So because of our conditioning as a separate self, we sort of need to revisit, over and over God's castle. Although we are that, and the way we visit God's castle is by recognizing the unmoved, the stillness, and that everything that appears to you is God's dance in a way. God remains loving and at peace and enjoys a symphony. And when the symphony is off, he says, okay, that symphony is off. This is a lie. Okay, I will not press the replay button.
Lies are a bit of like discord, but we like that in music sometimes too, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Magda, for sharing. It's beautiful. Okay. Any questions?
Magdi.
Hello, Mina.
Hello. I thank you very much for this meditation. It was very much, oh, I'm sorry.
That's...
I don't know why the video doesn't start anymore. Do you...
Try it now.
Oh,
oh, okay.
Oh, okay, now. Okay, thank you.
Yes,
you know, this process, I told you about this story with my son and all this narrative, and more life makes me free of all that, and I see more and more clearly this story that is made up in our life, you know, that we think, oh, this is my family, this I am this, I am this woman, I am this mother, and all this. And today it was so aligned with this inside. When you say you are not this body, you are not this, you are even not this gender, you are not this person and not this. And I feel it very, very, very much. And like this freedom is coming more and more inside my heart. And that the same time when I was a little sad that, oh, this family is gone, I have no more family. At the same time, I see, oh, life is freeing me of all these roles and of all this place.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I wanted also to ask you, I see that it happens like a process, slowly, like an apple on a tree is growing. I wanted also to ask you, how was it for you? Was it also like a process, or was it suddenly that all this was falling away?
Yes. It's both. It was both. In that there are insights where you somehow deep within you go, aha. You know, there is an aha, there is an understanding. And an understanding about truth, about consciousness, about our true nature is a very specific type of understanding. It's an understanding about the noumenal, about the reality of consciousness. So there is this sudden aha, you know. It takes on many forms. There are some insights that they're like a strobe light, you know, the light that strobe light. And there are some insights that are like the light coming on and then dimming. But when the light comes on, there you can see, you can perceive the panorama. And when there is a strobe light, you do perceive the panorama, but it's very brief. But irrespective of whether the insight reveals a wider panorama or a narrower panorama, it's still providing a glimpse into truth. And that is the southern aspect of understanding. And each person's path, of course, is different, but all the paths include this insight, or many, many insights into truth, into consciousness. Then there is the gradual aspect of the journey of the contemplation, where the body-mind has, one could say, stored within it a certain patterns, a certain tendencies, a certain structures that are based on the belief that I am a person, a mother, a son, a daughter, whatever, living in the world, an object, a person living in the world. There are within the body at the feeling level and also in the mind, structures. In my case, there are hundreds of structures, but there are some main ones. So the family being responsible for towards my mom and brothers, and this sort of, in this case, in my case, this was really powerful, but that was just particular to this body mind. And there were some other more noticeable tendencies. Family, accomplishing things in the world, whatever, etc. And that is a gradual process. There's a gradual process of not necessarily getting rid of these structures, but becoming free of the structures. The structures may still be there, but you are free. So there's still caring for brothers, caring for mother, caring for whatever, but you don't have that sense that this must work out or else, there isn't that sense of desperation or that sense of burning dependence or being stuck in that framework. So in my case, like in the case of everybody here and everybody else who is along the path has both the sudden revelations and understandings and the gradual dissolution of the structures at the feeling level. In terms of family, we become free of the family, but there's still a family. There's still brothers, cousins, whatever. But there is a freedom. And you may pick and choose. You may choose to have a certain relationship, change it anytime. Right? And your freedom is always there. And it's not the freedom from the family. It's a freedom of consciousness, the freedom of your being, Freedom comes from your being. So usually we're very concerned about freedom from the boss, freedom from fear, freedom from whatever. But the freedom of consciousness is the key thing to realize. When you get the freedom of, then the freedom from follows. Because the freedom of consciousness, that which I am, is there. And there is the understanding that at the level of reality, not at the level of impressions, of mind impressions, at the level of reality, there is one reality. There are no separate selves. There are no separate selves. It's one reality. And that one reality is not excluding my son or my daughter. Or there's no inclusion or exclusion. It's one reality. It's the reality of consciousness. That understanding is a crucial understanding. And which we may have to return to it, on numerous occasions, so that it becomes the certainty of that understanding, the clarity of that understanding, the significance of that understanding lives itself in our life, in our body, in our mind.
It's funny, I had these days, this sight, this seeing that like, I don't know how to put in words, but like this emptiness. And then, for example, in the morning, you wake up as this emptiness, and then you log in. You log in, Mina, mother, woman, tack, 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 and then as soon as you logged in, it starts all to play and to play around these logins. So this like glue, then all these situations come and tack, and you are connected with all these problems. And but when I stay as this emptiness, and I don't play this role, I play it, but I know inside that it is.
Yes. So there is, upon waking up, which is the arising of the waking state. We move from the dream state or the deep sleep state to the waking state. There is our thoughts, perceptions, memories arise, images arise. And I am the mother, or I am a woman, arises, and there is truth to that, in that the body is a female body. But so what? I mean, okay, we forget it about a second later, because so what? Or this body is the father of Julian and Chloe. Okay, so what? I mean, okay, yeah, I mean, yes. So the main thing is that the sense of angst, sense of, oh my God, what am I going to do today? Who am I, what's going to happen today? This thought about me in time, you know, or because it doesn't matter if images are arising on the screen. Right now, there are images on the screen, thoughts, perceptions, sensations. But there is no concern. So there are concerns that are justified concerns and concerns that are not justified. So the concern about, I have an appointment with the dentist, you know, at 2 o'clock, you know, so it's not really a concern, but you know, you still have to work out your day so that you can be at that appointment. You know, you have to bring your checkbook, you know, whatever. They are justified I wouldn't call them concerns, but justified processes of thinking and defining your body as, yeah, I mean, yeah, I've got to drive this body down to the dentist, you know. It's, you don't even think about the body. I mean, in fact, you don't. But there are some activities during the day that are justified for you to think about them and to plan ahead and to, you know, make sure, you know. But there are others that are psychological, that have to do with the past, that have to do with images about me. Am I going to succeed? Am I going to be loved? Am I going to be appreciated? What, you know, am I being a good mother? What, you know, there are some, so we have to distinguish.
Yeah.
And that's the key thing, you see.
Yeah.
The key thing. The concern. So behind that, the psychological concern or the psychological emotion or feeling is the belief that I refers to a limited body mind.
Yeah.
That belief may be automatic, gets on board, you see. So we take a look at this belief. We have to take a look at this belief. You know, that's what we do in our meetings, and also in our life, we take a look at the belief. Is I, right now, this moment, is I, what is I? Is I a woman? Is it a female I or a male I? Or is consciousness, awareness male or female? So we look at that, you see. And the more we look at it, the more it becomes clear to us that, okay, fine, I is awareness. It has no gender. And it doesn't come and go. It's not weaker at night and stronger during the day, or after 2 o'clock, it's not there. Or, no, it's not like that. So we become more and more clear. And this clarity starts to carry itself in our waking state, maybe below the radar, and even in our dream state. At some point in our dream state, the sense of being a personal self starts to become weaker and weaker. And our sleep becomes sort of an absence, you know.
Yes.
So it's the unnecessary and unhappy thoughts that are the issue. But the fact that the world, body, mind arises in the waking state, that's not a problem.
Yes. I see.
Whatever thought arises that's defining you as Mina, gotta take a look at that. Because if it's defining the body, Mina, as, okay, Mina you need to take Mina to the dentist, okay, fine, I understand that. But that says, I am Mina, No, I am going to take the body to the dentist, but I am not the body. I'm not going to take the body. I'm not the body. I will take the body using the car to the dentist, but I'm not the body. And when I say hello to the dentist, it's not the body that is saying hello. Body A is saying hello to body B. No, I am saying hello to you. I saying hello to I, the same I. Hi, see, right? That's why we love to say hi to each other, because we recognize each other when we say hi.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you, Maggie.
I love to talk with you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Any questions? Okay, well, very lovely to be with you all. Thank you for your company, Holger, and Jenny, and Mina.
Thank you, Maggie.
Hey, Malcolm. Hey, Marga. Hey, Marga. Holly. Hello, Holly. Rahul.
Thank you.
Hello, Charlie. Yes, nice to see you, Rahul. And Frank. Hey, Frank. Zoe. Hi, Zoe. Grace.
Thank you, Maggie.
Yes, Zoe. Hello, Amna.
Thank you, all of you.
Carol.
I like you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.